Many of us find ourselves permanently exhausted with no way out. Like we can't just give up our kids and quit our jobs and like move to like one of those cabins in Bali. Yes, please. And that leaves us feeling stuck and powerless, which of course leads to anxiety and panic attacks and depression and all of these other challenges. So, how do we get out of that cycle? Well, I'm excited because Yael Rose is here to share her story of how she figured it out, even as a busy single mom of five. So let's see what she has to say. Get excited because you can achieve that magical combination of finding total zen and getting it all done. The voice that says you can't is total mind BS. So tell me about this journey of being a single mom with five kids and dealing with chronic fatigue and anxiety and all of these other icky things.
Ooh, you went straight to the point. I always get very teary in interviews when I talk about this part because, I mean, it's the only time in my life that I wanted to not be here. Like the image I have in my head is just laying in bed, staring at the wall and thinking, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here in this body. And if in fact, if it wasn't for my kids, I probably would still be here because I'm not that, it's not, it doesn't go with my faith, but it's the worst thing that's ever happened to me, not being able to be the mom that I love being and be a present mom for my kids, cooking for them. You know, they had to live on freezer pizza for quite a few months, and I feel so guilty about that. So it was horrible. Like my daughter come back from school, I can't really listen to her. I don't have the capacity to not just talk, but even listening. So yeah, horrible.
So, how in the world did you come back from that? How did you figure out how to get yourself out of that bed and back into life?
You know, it's a great question because I wasn't diagnosed really with anything helpful. My official diagnosis is post-COVID syndrome. But then and I waited for months, you know, for the long COVID clinic. It wasn't helpful at all. They have no understanding. So I diagnosed myself with chronic fatigue syndrome following my stepdaughter mentioned it. Um, and once I started researching that, everything clicked. And so I was able to, I mean, so fortunate that we live in this day and age where there's YouTube and there's this wonderful woman called Raylan Agel, and she has a YouTube channel. She had chronic fatigue syndrome for a decade. Her mother committed suicide because of chronic fatigue syndrome. And I just started watching all her recovery stories. One, to start getting faith. Every time I was in a low point, I always watch recovery stories. And then just heard about a fatigue coach. So I worked with her. Then I heard about a program, and then eventually every time I feel like I've been taken to another level, another level, another level. So recovery is, as you know, it's not linear, but it was a difficult journey. But it's just really, I believe when you have the faith and it's a non-negotiable, it wasn't a, if I get better, I could not stay like that. I have five children. I need to be there for them. So it was just a matter of really finding what works. It's very hard, but it's just never giving up and finding the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And that's how I healed. It's always a puzzle, you know. They're always talking chronic fatigue syndrome recovery about everybody has a different recovery puzzle. So I'm just looking for the puzzle.
Yeah. And then you ended up finding something called EAET, and that really helped you on your journey. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, wow. Emotional awareness and expression therapy. Um, that was the last step of my journey, and that's the only thing that I still, not the only, actually I learned from everybody, but I still practice today. Um, I worked with a coach called Jim Prosak, the pain PT. And it was all about connecting back to my emotions. I don't know if even connecting back, because I don't know if I was ever connected to my emotions. I've also had a long marriage that was a toxic relationship, so I really shut down everything because it was too painful to feel. And just the way I grew up, and I think a lot of us really, we're so disconnected from our body and from because emotions really live in the body mostly. That's where we get symptoms, and the sensations and the symptoms are a lot of times emotions. So yeah, it was groundbreaking for me. And what I loved about it is that it wasn't hard. Like I didn't have to do too much. I can just lay down, listen to somatic tracking meditation, and my body just releases the emotions. There's lots more to it, but it just felt so good to let all the the pain. I had a lot of sadness because also the way Jim teaches it, it's amazing. So each different emotion of the primary emotions, the negative ones, fear, anger, sadness, they manifest differently in the body. And fatigue is typical for sadness. So I had so much sadness and just tears and tears coming out. It felt great, to be honest, to let it all out. So yeah.
So let me get this straight. You can just lie there and listen to a track, and these stuck emotions find their way out? Like, tell me more. This sounds so amazing.
It is amazing. And first, I have to really stress that this is only a part of the work. Basically, our bodies are an amazing healing machine. Once we give them the correct conditions, in this case, really just bringing the body to a state of relaxation, the body does the work itself. So it's the same physically as it is emotionally. And because when you have CFS or fibromyalgia, because CFS people think you're just tired, but you have all of these symptoms as well. Really scary stuff that is really just produced by your brain, but it's hard to remember it in real time. So the sensations are almost always there, but you try to, for example, you go to bed because you don't want to, because it just feels so horrible being upright. So when you lay down and you stop resisting, because we always do a small resistance in our body without even noticing it. Even if we have a headache, we almost tensing. So when you stop doing that, then yeah, it all comes. So they all come at you. And look, I'll be honest with you. When I started doing this work, it was hard. It was so hard. Feeling your emotions. I always laugh. Feeling your emotions suck. It can really, really suck, but it's the only way. Because when I was in my toxic marriage, what I've realized towards the end is that this wall I built around my heart to stop from all those poison darts coming at me. Okay, it's not letting the pain in, but it's also not letting love in or out. It's not letting joy in or out. And so it can be very overwhelming to start with, but then there's so much to gain on the other side of it when it doesn't stay overwhelming forever. And then it's just, you live and you're alive. Because when you're not feeling, you're not really alive, are you?
It's like the ultimate trust fall, to feel your emotions, because we're taught that emotions are not safe. It's not safe to feel your emotions. You're going to get, labeled and pushed out of your group. And so not only is it not safe to feel your emotions, but it's not safe to feel all of them at the same time. Like, that sounds so scary to me. And so you've created a way to help people get those small connection moments with themselves so that they can start doing this work without that big overwhelm. Can you tell us a bit more about your mini connection moments?
I like that. Well, so I created a course which is micro learning. It's little bites, and then in the morning, I just called it MCM. And every morning with me in the course, you do a quick morning connection moment. And the ladies that already did the course, they really, really loved it. Obviously, you know, when we create these things, we don't know how they're going to be received, right? And sometimes something that you just kind of, I added it on a whim, then it became the biggest thing that they loved. So yeah, it's we can do a quick one right now, I mean, if you want.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
I'm
lovely.
in.
Okay, so first of all, let's just drop into our body and just feel the heaviness of it. And now we can close our eyes. We can take just a minute to feel our body on whatever surface that we're on. We can let the arms and the hands go heavy and just relax them. The feet, just put them on the ground and relax them. If you're laying down, even better. Just let yourself be heavy. And now you can put your hands on your chest if you want. If you want bonus points, you can do skin to skin, which means that you kind of put it under your shirt a little bit so your whole palm is flash on your skin. And that's a great way to also help you calm. And we can take a few deep breaths. Let's focus first on the exhale. The inhale normally takes care of itself. The exhale is really important. Also, when we are in an anxious state, we tend to actually hyperventilate. So we want to really make sure the air comes out. And one more. Awesome. Keep breathing while I speak. And just ask yourself, what am I feeling? Whether it's an emotion or just a physical sensation. Let yourself connect with your body. If it's an emotion, what is it? Are you feeling joy, sadness, anger, fear, anxiety? Whatever you're feeling, it's safe. You're safe. It can't hurt you. Just let that emotional energy flow through you. If it's a physical sensation, it can also be emotions manifesting in the body. It's also safe. Let it flow. Let the body do the work. The body knows best. Let it flow out. Beautiful. One more breath, and then we're going to come back into the room when you're ready. And open your eyes.
Ah,
How was that?
well, I have to tell you that I have also done a lot of this work through different methods as well. And when I first started doing things like that, my body would panic and I would have tears and I would have like freak out. It's like it was just, I could not be still with myself. And so you're talking about this journey of, going through the storm, going through the muck of your emotions to get to the beauty on the other side. And so I am now with you on the beauty on the other side. And I just feel this beautiful sense of peace and calm and serenity, I think, is the big emotion that comes up. And so I'm going to echo you and say it is worth going through the muck because I would not go back for anything. I don't think I felt serenity and calm for the first 35 years of my life, And so, yes, I feel amazing.
Thank you for sharing. And it's really an important point that you bring up because, if somebody feels overwhelmed, then just know that it's fine. You're safe. You're safe. If tears come up, that's an amazing way for the body to release emotional energy. So just let it out. It's absolutely fine. And obviously, it's important to say if you have new sensations that you didn't have before that you're scared by, go and get them checked. If you have some unresolved trauma, I'm always in some form of therapy at any point in my life, go and get that for yourself. But yeah.
Yeah, that's solid advice. So you have a challenge to help people get started on this journey. What's that?
We're going to do a morning connection moments challenge on WhatsApp. So again, really easily accessible and just a few minutes a day. Because to be honest, I received an email recently from this big coach and something about how to help your anxiety and just the list of 10 different things that I'm supposed to be doing gave me anxiety. No one's got time for that. This is quick solutions, quick tips, quick skills that I'm going to teach every morning we're going to do it over a week. And we'll do a bit more of what we did just now, but also there will be some practical things that you can do and incorporate into your daily life. And then I will share also about my course if anybody wants to know more about that. But it's really me being there with you in the morning to show you how you can carve space for you and just feel the difference when you do that, even just for a few moments. What opens up for you? Inspiration, just feeling more calm, more peace in your life, and just that simple act of prioritizing yourself in the morning before. Obviously, you can do it any time of day, but if you can do it in the morning, it's really powerful to prioritize yourself before you start pouring into everybody else. Because as women, we give so much to the whole world, and we tend to forget ourselves and our needs.
Is it free?
It's free.
It's
Yes.
free. Amazing. Yes. So I will drop the link to that in the description so you can sign up for that free 7-day challenge. Get started with that embodiment. And what's that going to do for people when they start getting embodied? How is that going to support them?
We've had some people with really serious, we've had someone who had to take time off work due to anxiety, another person with difficult conditions, including fibromyalgia. And one, they said that it helped them just not feel so alone. That was a very, very big part of it. And because we all think, especially in this social media age, we all think that everybody has such an amazing, perfect life, and we're the only one that's struggling. And it's really good to be in a vortex, in a group with other women who are all going through the same thing, because let's face it, we all are going through whatever we're going through.
Amen, sister.
So that's one big thing. What relaxation does for me, it gives me clarity. Apart from the fact that I now don't have to be bedbound or housebound, and I can look after my children, and I can go on walks again and do all the things I love, it just opened up a different perspective in my mind, because I feel like life is so short. And when you are just constantly on the treadmill and you don't stop ever, then it just passes you by. And I don't feel that that's what we're supposed to, that's how our existence on this earth is supposed to be. Yeah, it used to be my life when I had a very busy events company and 5 young children. And you know, I do have some regrets looking back, that there were some moments that I wish I was more present to myself and to my family. So I think just open up space. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's an important reminder because we talk about we don't stop. And when we think of stop, we think of something big. You know, we think of taking a whole day off or a vacation or, you know, a weekend getaway or even like booking a massage. And all of those are phenomenal. But it doesn't have to be something big. It can be these 1 minute or a few minute little pauses throughout our day. Like I even teach 10-second pauses. We pause for 10 seconds at a time, multiple times throughout our day, and it adds up. And so anybody can take a minute.
I love that. And also, I feel that when we go on holiday, then we come back and our life is still the same. So it just, you know, really quickly like undo everything, all the benefits. Where when we, like you say, in 10 seconds, great. When you incorporate it into your daily life, then, you know, they say build a life you don't have to take a holiday from. So
Yes,
I
yes,
love that, right? I love holidays. I love spa days. I love massages. But that's like on top.
exactly. Those are like the little Sunday extras that you put on top of your awesome already life. Absolutely. And then you can enjoy your vacation instead of just like lying there being like, oh my God, I don't want to move, you know?
I mean, that's my style of enjoying. So
Yes,
each
I
to
love
their
it.
own, you know. Let me just
Wonderful.
lie down, do nothing.
Well, that's fantastic, but that's a choice now that you
Yeah.
can make instead of just a desperate need from your body, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Big difference. Massive
Huge.
difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for joining us today. Is there anything you want to leave our audience with today? One main takeaway that you hope that they leave and go away with today after our chat?
Prioritize yourself. Pay attention to your body. Live, live, live. This is not a dress rehearsal. This is the real thing. So do what you got to do to change your lifestyle and live.
And it's interesting because we think that's selfish, but what do we want for our kids? Let's model it. Yes.
Love it.
Show our kids how to live, show our kids how to be happy and get it all done. I love it. So thank you so much for joining us today, Yael. I
You.
appreciate it so much, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hit subscribe and let's see if we can make life balance the norm.